Hey, what's up, blessed ones? This is Blair, your Care Bear. No hair, don't care. All faith, no fear. Welcome to the vibe, and this is once again blaring the podcast. And I really didn't have anything to say. I'm really just trying to, you know, figure out what I'm gonna do with my life, yo. Like, I have tried and tried and tried so many different career paths. For those of you who know me knows that I'm somebody who not afraid to quit, not afraid to go my separate ways from a company. Like, I've had so many different jobs, as I mentioned on previous episodes before. And even with me having the passion for technology and computers, I'm in school, for cybersecurity. And then I also had dibbled and dabbled in HVAC. Went to school for that. Wasn't able to attain my certification. Dibbled daddled in getting my CDLs. Wasn't able to attain my certification. I'm gonna be honest, yo. Like, writing, that's really my passion. I enjoy creating stories. Expressing myself. I enjoy just venting because I'm able to, you know, get out a lot of emotions that I have instead of crashing out on somebody. Because nobody, I'm gonna say this, we're in a time now where there's so many different avenues that people can stream income from. We have the streamers, we have the podcasters, of course, we have the TikTok creators who make a lot of TikTok. That's how they make their money. It's like it's just a lot of different avenues. But for me, there's a lot of things that I can sell. There's a lot of things that I can, give people tips on. But again, for me, the way that I am, and I've said this many times, I haven't been able to put my mind on the position for where I'll be like, all right, you want to get healthy, you want to get fit, you want to know how to do this. Let me go ahead and charge you for this. Because for somebody who's always, not always, but for somebody who has dealt with so many different financial complications and unfortunate events, I don't have the heart. I don't have the heart to charge anybody on how to, you know, work out. Because look at me, like I'm still struggling with it myself. And unfortunately, regardless of whether I believe that you can still teach people things, even if you're not directly doing it. That's just the world that we live in. So I've had to, reconsider different stuff. But anyway, like I said, this is it's episode 133. I want to say, and it's been a long time coming. Like, I'm really trying to be a little bit more consistent. I was able to disconnect from Podbean. So now I am on Spotify. And I'm on all the other streaming platforms as well. I want to say my podcast still going to be on platforms. It's just now my hosting is with Spotify. And it's still, you'll still be able to see it on YouTube and still be able to listen to it on Apple Podcasts or whatnot. But I'm there. But I wanna know something though, because this is something that I've thought about. And of course, me, I'm Mr. Q&A and Mr. 21 Questions. Have you ever been in a position where you knew in your heart that you shouldn't be doing this? And this is work related. If you've been at a job that you extremely hate, you don't want to be there, but because you have bills, because you have responsibilities, you stay there. Like, what is your exact thoughts on that? Because for me, I've had plenty of those, and like I said, I didn't left, mo- like maybe 98% of my jobs. And even with me knowing that I have responsibilities and bills, there's been jobs that I've stayed at longer than I wanted to. But after a while, you just have to say, this ain't me. This ain't for me. Like right now, like I say this, I'm not ashamed to say it. Right now, I'm independent contractor doing driving, door dashing or whatever. But I'm ready to go back out there. I'm ready to get back out there in the work field and, give my car a break. Because right now, I don't know if the Fed's listening, but I'm riding dirty right now. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm riding dirty. But there's a few things that I thought about, just me even being in school for cybersecurity. It's just like, man, I don't have the like it's just not hidden for me, yo. Like I don't like to sit and listen to things, and it's like I like to be hands on. And even the things that I'm hands on with, it's like I'm not good at tests. Like I can show you how to do something, explain it, but when it comes down to the multiple choice tests, or even like if I got to do a summary, I'm just terrible at it. I don't know if it's because maybe I need to be a little bit more determined to study and to spend more time on that. But that's just one thing that I have that I have thought about. But what do y'all think about it? Because a man who works is a man who eats. So as you see, I'm in the car. Of course, this is my this is my peace. You know what I'm saying? This is like where I find peace at. Um, because I will say, even like when I was living by myself and I had my own spot, I would sometimes just go in the car and sit, do videos, listen to things. It's just kind of like I have more focus when I'm in the car. It's just something about getting the outside weather and seeing cars drive by and seeing people walk and just being outside, even though I'm inside of a vehicle, but just getting a breath of fresh air is, we take that for granted. And I don't want us to, I don't want us to forget to enjoy life. Regardless, like you can have 10 children. I still feel like you still have to get out and just take some time to yourself, or even just take some time to, and like enjoy the weather. But I mean, there's certain things that I can discuss, but this in particularly, I do want to just this particular video, this episode, I just wanted to just ask if anybody had that same revelation. It's like what is your tolerance level? Like, because we have, like, especially me as a black man, I hate using black, but just me as a man, it's just we have to be a little bit more open and express ourselves. But even when we're told to be vulnerable and express ourselves, when we do it, maybe it just depends on where you are. When we do it, it's always going to be a rebuttal as far as like, you're a man, stop crying, man up. This is what you got to do. When I don't think people really think about the mental space that men are in. And even just if I'm speaking for myself, like for me, I say this all the time as well. I have a lot of aspirations. My ambition isn't as big as my aspirations. Some of my dreams scare me. Some of the goals and things like I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I know that I just want money now, but I'm never going to try to, do anything illegal to get it. I'm doing DoorDash and I can get money right now, but it's like that takes a toll, on my vehicle. And it's cool that I'm able to like decide when I go in, wake up and do this, but at the same time I'm still a father, you know what I'm saying? I'm back at my mom's place, and it's like I I literally gave up dating until I really had got my stuff together. Because even though I feel like you can date and not have nothing, I don't want to date and not have anything. I was sitting here really trying to prove to myself that I can do it, but I just can't do it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating now because it's like, yeah, I care more about, you know, spending time with my significant other than I do money. Money's important. We need it, but that's not my overall, you know, goal. Like I don't care as much. And some people might feel like because I'm coming from a place of, where I can like I have somewhere to go, like it takes a village, but that also applies for adults as well. God bless, my mom and and stepdad or whatever, whoever. But my thing is it's not good for the mental. I don't feel good, you know, having to live with someone. I still have to pay. I don't really pay. I don't gotta really pay like 900 or 1500 to live somewhere monthly, but it's like I still have to pay, and I pay weekly. So sometimes it's like when I factor in all those things, on top of what I go through mentally, especially when it comes with work and just being a father, it's like, man, I sometimes second guess my decision, but I also go back to who my father is, who my heavenly father is. I love my dad, I love my stepdad, I love my mom, I love my stepmom, I love them. But, you know, Jesus Christ, he is the ultimate gift. He is the ultimate parent, ultimate father, ultimate brother, ultimate friend. Because even in my trying times, even in my times of agony, even in my time of despair, even in my time of grief, even in my time of just anything that is making me feel worry and making me stressed and struggle, he's there with me. And I know that. So I don't, like I said, I'm not going to crash out because of who my God is and because who I know who Jesus is. Even in my sins, I'm not going to go too far away from him. But yesterday is gone. Today, today I encourage all of y'all who are listening. Today I tell you all, like, if you have something that you're passionate about, whatever it is, no matter how hard it is, no matter how many people tell you can't do it, no matter what anybody says, you have to stick to it. It might take you 5 years. It might take you 10 years. How long? But you have to remember to, stick to it. Even in my trials and tribulations, I've always been someone who was consistent. And hey, look, I might be behind. I might have got a little rusty. I haven't probably done it as much, whether it was podcast or whether it was writing or creating. It's just like I try to, get back to that. I try to at least be on top of that once a week, and even now that I have more time, and it's like I don't really have more time. I actually have less time now, but it's still like I think when we lose focus of who we want to be or who we need to be, and even if you're not a believer or a follower of Christ, there's something that is within you that serves a bigger purpose. I'm not sitting here saying that everybody's got to be an entrepreneur. I'm not sitting here that sitting here saying that um some of us aren't meant to, work here. But it's like if you have a dream, if you have a desire, and again, it's not illegal, it's not harming anybody, and it's good. And if it's good, that's something that we have to keep in mind. We have to remember to tap into our supreme being. Our we're not going to do anything that's not in our hearts. That's one thing that I will say that resonated with me. I remember and my brother had talked about it, and even with my friend, had said it. It's like, you're not going to do something that's not in your heart. So I challenge everybody, you know, anybody who, like, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you work for somebody else, whether you're, just in a position of, finding purpose. I challenge you to look deep in your heart and reach deep inside there and see like what it is that you want, what it is that you strongly desire. And when you get that, when you find it, just pray to God in the name of Jesus. Just really, really ask God to lead you and direct you and to, you know, show you the way. Because even like with me, like there's times where I pray and I'm not sure if I'm praying hard enough, praying enough, if the prayer is good enough, but it's just like, hey Lord, just be my light, yo. Just shine your light bright on me. And there's times where I get discouraged because it's like, okay, why am I still in this position? But I think more so it's like our circumstances may not change, but our hearts will. If you're living in a shelter, if you're living in a cabin in the woods, if you're living on the street. Now, again, it's not ideal. Nobody wants to be in that position. But when you're in a bad spot and all you can think about is that bad spot, it's going to start filling you up and um for taking over your peace, your happiness, your joy, and you'll stay in that spot and all you can think about is negativity, and all you can think about is like, some people respond differently, but I will say that when your heart changes, the way that you look at your circumstances will be totally different. And then eventually those circumstances will change. Sometimes it's hard to believe. I've had struggles with it too, but it's true. I strongly believe that when you strongly believe in something, it will come true. But you have to want it. You have to desire it. But that was just pretty much all I have. Um, Again, as always, if you have any questions, suggestions, requests, all you need is gonna be here. And as always, just stay safe, stay productive, and positive. And this is Blair. and I'm out.